first get new video update from us. Thank you.
Amid fears the two countries are setting course on a new arms race, Russia says it has deployed nuclear-capable short-range missiles to a key strategy point in northern Europe. The move is making neighbors uneasy.
Russia has deployed advanced nuclear-capable ballistic missiles to its Kaliningrad exclave and the Baltic Sea, a Russian official has confirmed following the deployment of several military jets by NATO. Kaliningrad, a Russian enclave annexed from Germany by the Soviet Union after World War II, is situated along the Baltic coast and has been called the most dangerous place in Europe. Russia has said previous deployments of Iskander missiles to Kaliningrad, a slice of Russia wedged between Poland and Lithuania, were temporary and the response to the United States building up its forces in the Baltic region. However, Washington has repeatedly condemned placing such missile systems near the Baltic states and NATO member Poland, blasting it as destabilizing. U.S. officials have also expressed concern that the deployments represent a permanent upgrade to Russia's forces in the area. Vladimir Shaymanov, head of the Russian lower house of Parliament's Defense Committee, confirmed Russia's nuclear-capable Iskander missile systems have been sent to Kaliningrad today. Russia says it has deployed nuclear-capable short-range missiles in its Baltic Sea exclave of Kaliningrad. Vladimir Shaymanov, head of the Russian lower house of Parliament's Defense Committee, said on Monday that Iskander missiles have been sent to Kaliningrad, a Russian territory wedged between Poland and Lithuania. He said the deployment is in response to NATO's build-up near Russia's borders, suggesting U.S.-led efforts to deploy missile interceptors in Poland. Russia has stationed the Iskander missiles to Kaliningrad before, but it called those deployments temporary for military drills. Lithuanian President Dalia Grybauskaitė has expressed grave concern, calling the missiles a threat to Europe.
The head of Russia's Parliamentary Defense Committee says the Iskander missiles are stationed in Kaliningrad, a Russian territory on the Baltic Sea. The president of neighboring Lithuania calls the missiles a threat to Europe, as they could bring much of NATO within range. Russia maintains the deployment is a response to military buildup in territories nearby. That includes Poland, where the U.S. has been leading efforts to deploy missile interceptors. NATO has thousands of troops stationed in the Baltic region.
All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is speeding up things. Babakasha, Babakasha, Babakasha. Put this kingdom down. Yes, brothers and sisters, take heed. The Most High is coming closer and closer and closer. Right? It's his movie. It's his movie. Right? It's his game. He plays what he wants and he's going to be the winner. That's all we have to say. He is coming soon. All praise to Yahawah Shem Yahawashi.
The United States and Russia both say they have met the targets of a nuclear arms reduction treaty, but the rather symbolic deal comes as both sides ramp up their nuclear programs. The two governments reached an agreement in 2010 to limit the number of their deployed nuclear warheads. The deal restricts each country to 1,550, as well as scales back the number of their ballistic missiles and strategic bombers. They had until Monday to meet the conditions. Both governments say they fall below the quota, but the deal does not cover tactical weapons. The U.S. has signaled it is looking to revamp its nuclear program. Last week, the U.S. president released his administration's nuclear strategy. It calls for smaller nukes. The reason, it says, is to enhance its deterrence capabilities to counter Russia and other countries' military buildups.
Democrats say they're just setting the record straight. We think this will help inform the public of the many distortions and inaccuracies in the majority memo.
The push to release the Democratic memo is in response to a Republican memo released last week accusing the FBI of using research funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign as justification for spying on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page and his links to Russia.
Oh, but did we catch them in the act or what? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, did we catch them in the act? They are very embarrassed. They never thought they were going to get caught. We caught them.
Trump argues the memo vindicates him of wrongdoing in the investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. But special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation continues. And Democrats, and even many Republicans, say Mueller's investigation was based on more than just opposition research.
Let me tell you what the memo is not.
Please.
The memo is not a rebuke of Bob Mueller's investigation. Bob Mueller should be allowed to turn over every rock, pursue every lead to completion.
Before the Democrats' memo is released, it must first be reviewed by Trump. White House officials are hinting, but not guaranteeing, that he'll release it. A White House spokesman says Trump may also support a new investigation of the FBI's conduct. Bill Gallo, VOA News, the White House.
Musicians from North Korea are on their way to the Winter Olympics. They're members of an orchestra that will perform at the Games in Pyeongchang. State media reports the orchestra left on Monday. This photo shows the official send-off overseen by the younger sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The group is traveling by ship. South Korea's unification. The group is traveling by ship. South Korea's unification ministry reports the vessel has passed the maritime demarcation line. It's set to arrive at a port near the Olympic venues late Tuesday local time. A high-ranking delegation from the north is expected to attend the games that start Friday.
The North Korean art troupe comprising 140 orchestra musicians, dancers, and singers will arrive in South Korea Tuesday afternoon on board a ferry called the Mangyongbong. The ship will arrive in South Korea at Bukho Port in the city of Donghae on the east coast.
The North Koreans are coming to South Korea on board the ferry Mangyongbong 92. They'll be using it not only as a means of transportation, but also accommodation during the concert period in Gangneung.
Using the ship as lodging for them is also a way for the North to keep the artists from having contact with South Koreans. Seoul has temporarily lifted its ban on all North Korean ships entering its waters to allow the ship to come. The Mangyongbong 92 itself is not one of the North Korean vessels blacklisted by the United Nations or the US on suspicion of involvement in Pyongyang's nuclear weapons program. The ferry is being escorted by a South Korean ship near the maritime border in the East Sea and will sail to Bukho Port under convoy. The North Korean artists will perform on Thursday in the city of Gangneung on the eve of the Winter Olympics. Gangneung is hosting Olympic events, including women's ice hockey, in which the two Koreas will compete as a joint team, a first in Olympic history. The troupe will perform again on Sunday at the National Theatre of Korea in Seoul.
140 musicians and dancers from the Sanjong Orchestra are on that seat behind me, the Mangyongbong 92. And they are drawing a lot of attention. Of course, there's been a lot of media here, but also angry local residents. Dozens are protesting the North Koreans' arrival and yelling at them to go back home. The North's participation in the upcoming performances, as well as the Olympics, may have lowered tensions politically. But with some South Koreans, there's been strong opposition. Security has been tight around here. A lot of police officers are keeping a watch on the situation. The North Koreans will stay on the ship while they are in the south. They are scheduled to perform not far from here on Thursday and in Seoul on Sunday. It will be the first time in 16 years. The government officials say that more than 150,000 people are hoping to see the show. The South Korea normally bans all North Korean ships from entering its ports, but it's made an exception this time. The government is hoping these performances will help resume talks with Pyongyang. Takaya Kawasaki, NHK World, Muko Port, South Korea.